very interesting character. He's only 18, are you 19 yet, Connor? 18 years of age. Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together for Mr. Connor Lyons. Good evening, Connor.
Good evening.
Now, Connor, you're the shy one out of the group, so it's going to be hard to get a few lines out of you, but I'm sure we'll be able to. Let's first start off with your disability. Now, as a 14-year-old kid, you were just playing rugby league. You went out every day, every weekend, and had a game, and then a bit of tragedy happened. Could you just let our members know what happened on that particular weekend?
Basically, I was playing a rugby game against Beverly Braves. I went in to run in the ball through a squad try because it was last minute, but then there was two bigger lads who played rugby union came in and absolutely smashed me, not gonna lie. And that caused a tear in my main vessel in my neck, which caused a blood clot to go to my brainstem, which led to a major stroke, which when I got put into an induced coma for 4 days. Then after I came out the induced coma, I suffered another stroke, and now I suffer from a brain injury, and now I've only got 50% blood flow to the brain.
Well, that 50%, most of these blokes who drink here on a regular basis, they get less than that. So you're doing okay, but just to put into perspective, you suffered that injury and it was unknown to you at the time. You just went home and thought, oh, I'm a big crook. Who found you the next day?
Basically, I woke up in the morning with one side of my body slouched, but I managed to go to the toilet because I needed a wee. Then I ended up passing out from the stroke, and I woke up, I think it was like 5 hours later, to my auntie by my side. Then I had the ambulance, then I got rushed to hospital, and I got rushed to surgery because they said if they didn't get me to surgery in less than 10 minutes that I could lose my life.
Touch and go. So it was your aunt and your cousin that found you collapsed on the floor, and they basically, if they hadn't have found you, you're gone.
Basically, yeah, if they didn't find me in like the next hour, I would have basically been dead.
Yeah. But from that adversity, it has changed your life entirely, hasn't it?
Definitely.
You've got a charity that you've established, and you picked up the BBC Teen Hero Award for the charity work that you've done. Can you tell us a little bit about the charity and some of the things that it has done?
Basically, I run my own charity called Team Connor Lyons. We raise awareness of stroke and brain injury in children. I've raised over £35,000 for different charities. Basically, we're just trying to help people who have been in the same situations as me, and trying to make stroke and brain injury in children known, because when I came out of hospital there wasn't really many things around the UK for brain injury and stroke for children, so we're basically there basically trying to make every little step for people going through the same situation I am easy as possible.
You created a bit of celebrity status over in England. I know that you were interviewed recently by none other than the English Rugby Union 5/8 Johnny Wilkinson, who was blown away by what you've achieved in such a short time.
Yeah, I met Johnny Wilkinson. I went down to London to meet him. I didn't really know who he was because he's a rugby union player and now rugby league. So basically I went down, then he was telling me what he's basically done for England rugby team. Then I was like, Jesus, I mean someone actually kind of special, yeah. But then he's a real down-to-earth person. He was really interested in my story, and we got along really well. He was just talking about rugby and rugby union, and also which rugby team we sport. It was all about rugby.
So as a 15-year-old, you've established your own charity, raising money and helping other people and other kids. How has that involvement in the charity changed you as a person?
Basically, I think it's made me mature, not like, because obviously as these like I'm not mature to these, but like
They haven't seen it,
yeah.
but you believe you are more mature.
But like, if you looked at me when I was about 14, 13, I was a little, you know. But now I've realised that life can go with a blink of an eye, so now I'm just trying to make the most of it and try and make the best person that I can possibly be.
I think also one of your quotes is the fact that during your rehabilitation you always found there was somebody worse off than yourself.
Yeah, basically I went off that quote saying there's always somebody worse than you. You just basically have to choose to be whatever's been given to you.
And what is the finding the Wakefield Trinity physical disability team? What's that opportunity provided for you?
It's provided a lot of things, because now I've got like rugby mates. Like I lost rugby mates because of we all went to different places. People went to different teams. People just quit rugby altogether. But now I'm back into the rugby scenery, so I've got rugby mates. Basically, it's PDRL's got me back to playing rugby to some certain extent, which I've missed. Now I'm back, and now I'm obviously in Australia, so it's going quite well.
And looking forward to the game running on to Seabus Stadium this weekend?
Yeah, because it's always been a dream to play in Australia for me, and now I'm getting the chance to actually live up to that dream, so yeah, it's good.
Ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and thank Connor I think if any of you are feeling a few aches and pains, you've probably disappeared by now, and by the time you get home tonight, I hope you go home a better person after listening to someone like Connor telling his story. Let's now welcome to the stage one of the other players from the Wakefield Trinity side, and it's none other than 23-year-old Ben Nicholson. Now Ben, welcome to Australia.
Yeah, thank you.
We'll knock it over straight away. Your disability to be able to play in the team is that you've suffered cerebral palsy.
Yes, yeah.
Now, for those of you that don't know, cerebral palsy is damage to a part of the brain that controls movement, balance and posture. Is that correct?
Yeah, that's correct. I think in my experience, no one's born with it because it is kind of a brain injury, but when I was born, I was born premature, really premature, and through a lack of oxygen, obviously this damage to the brain was caused. And like you said, the main symptoms for most people revolve around balance, around coordination, and around posture. Yeah.
Well, in the 4 or 5 days that I've met you since you arrived, it certainly didn't affect your humour, because you're quite a funny bloke there, Ben.
I'll try.
Yeah.
I do try. Yeah.
Now, what position are you playing in the physical disability side?
Well, I mean, this is quite ironic because obviously when I first heard a physical disability rugby league, I thought, I'm quite lucky and I'll come down here and play centre or play halfback or be one of the more skillful players. But as a kid, I always used to play sort of second row prop, and that's where I've ended up in PDRL as well. So.
Unfortunately, once you're in the front row,
yeah, there's nowhere else to go.
Yeah. So that's the highlight for you.
Yeah, very true.
But back in England, you have managed to overcome your physical challenges and the brain injury, and you actually work as a school teacher. primary school teacher, and you're also a qualified coach of rugby league.
Yeah. So in terms of the teaching, I've literally just qualified, finished just before I've come out here to Australia. I'm taking I've got my first class when I get back in September, which is going to be year 3, so they're about 7 or 8, so that's certainly going to be a challenge for me. In terms of rugby, I was a bit of a late comer to rugby league. I didn't start playing until I was 11 or 12, someone saw me at school, and I've always been sort of taller than everyone else, especially Darren. And they thought, oh well, it's pretty big, you should come play rugby. And I played rugby league at my local club for sort of 6-7 years. And you know, I don't mind saying now that I wasn't very good, but I did really enjoy it. And like most people, when you're not very good, you find ways to work around it. So I was always a bit of a dirty git, which kind of worked in the front row, I'll be honest. And then I got to 16, 17, still trying to play in the front row. But one of the things I recently learned about cerebral palsy, as well as the sort of the balance and things like that, which I've found ways round. I'm very good at knowing my own limits. I avoid things that have make me fall over, basically. Is that I burn a lot of calories. Basically, my muscles are always in movement. So I burn 4 times as many calories as a normal person, especially when exercising. So you can imagine being in the front row, where you're wanting to bulk up, put weight on, be operating at maybe 15, 16 stone. I would try to keep up with those boys, sort of weighing what I do now. Which is, I'm at about 13 stone now. So that very quickly became very difficult, and it meant that a game I enjoyed playing very quickly became something that was hard work. So I stepped away from the game from a playing capacity, and I was very lucky that I had an opportunity to coach, again at my former club. I did that for around 6 years, and those lads I had those from sort of under 8s. And they're now through up to, I think they're under 13s now. You know, they say those that can't do teach, so I think that's sort of fitting well with me there. It was from that I found PDRL, to be honest, because it started in the UK, 18 months ago now, boys, yeah? And I was sat in a pub not too dissimilar to somewhere like this, with a bloke that I coached with, a very close friend of mine, and he'd seen that Wakefield were launching a team. He was a Wakefield fan, I'm not, I'm a Leeds fan, so it's been a pleasure for me to sit with Callum tonight. And he said to me, you know, why don't you have a go at that? And I played it dumb at first, because from going to high school, I ignored the fact that I had a disability. I didn't tell anybody. And I'm quite lucky in the sense that I can do that. I could get away with that if I want to. I can just be someone with some crap balance, and no one would tell them, you know, any different. They're just thinking of too many VBs or whatever. I was like, no, I can't play that. And he was like, yeah, no, you can. I can tell you've got cerebral palsy. And I was like, no one can ever tell that. How can you tell that? And he was like, oh, I used to do some work with a couple of lads that went to Paralympics. And I was like, oh, right, okay. You can definitely tell them. And yeah, phone call with Craig at Wakefield, and one thing led to another. I do a bit of coaching down there, and try and play, I suppose, as well.
And what are you looking forward to the most on this Australian trip?
I mean, everyone's been so good to us since we've got here. It's hard to pinpoint one thing. I mean, if I want to narrow it down, we are over here to play. We absolutely enjoyed training the other night with Terry and his boys over there. We're looking forward to getting down again on Thursday and having a little crack at it ahead of our curtain raiser game at the weekend. I mean, almost not joking with you boys here, but my biggest memory of sort of Englishmen in Australia is Jamie Peacock, Willie Mason. Yeah, everyone remembers that one. That was my favourite. So. Yeah, an opportunity to play out here is probably the big thing that we're looking forward to.
Well, Ben, the one advantage for you is no matter what happens on the day, you're playing on Saturday at around about 12:30, I think 12:30.
Yeah.
Even if you get sent off for being dirty, you're flying home on Monday, so you don't have to go to judiciary. So
No. Well, I mean, you're a referee, aren't you? As well,
yeah,
so,
I'll look after you.
yeah.
Don't worry. Well, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and thank Ben for coming along this evening. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we welcome to the stage the captain of the Wakefield Trinity physical disability side, 36 years of age, Mr. Darren Dean. He's sponsored by Bondi Tattoo Shop.
38, by the way.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Darren, welcome to Australia.
Thank you.
How have you enjoyed your almost been here a week now? How's it been for you?
Oh, it's been amazing. I think I've told you before, I was here like 15 years ago. So rolling back the memories from then to now, it's brilliant, especially as spending it with great people as well, who obviously I've brought, we've come across together, but people like yourselves, definitely, it's been amazing.
Now, Darren, you suffer from a disease called avascular necrosis, which is a loss of blood to the bone, which eventually causes the bones to collapse.
Yeah.
You're 38 years of age, you've already had both hips replaced. What else has fallen apart? And his hair.
Before I started with these boys 18 months ago, I had hair. Seriously, it's these two boys here. Yeah, I mean, mine stemmed from years ago with the hips. As you know, I had cancer when I was younger. So it's all stemmed from that, and I'm just happy, even though I've got my hips replaced, it's still part of me and it's part of my journey, and I'm still here.
How much do you enjoy this opportunity to be part of a club and a team with physical disability where you can embrace all of these guys with all of their various challenges and you get to lead them on the field and help them in their journey?
Well, that's the main thing. I'm sure for quite a few of us from England or around the world, we kind of got isolated really. So now this has come about. We can all muck in together kind of thing, go through each other's experience with them, and there are always somebody to talk to about certain things as well, which is great.
And this weekend you're playing with the Titans legends. Now I do know that Scotty Prince is playing, I do know that Preston Campbell is playing. You're looking forward to playing with some of these guys?
Oh, amazing.
Mate, it's going to be tremendous.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, growing up as a kid, watching rugby league, wanting to be the best of the best kind of thing. I mean, just the names you pulled off then, and we're going to be playing alongside those guys. It's just absolutely amazing for as well, definitely.
I just hope, ladies and gentlemen, that the crowd does, or the public out there finds out about this game and does manage to get down to the ground a little bit earlier, because the gates only open 5 minutes before you kick off. So it'll probably be halfway through the game before you get a decent crowd. But your time in Australia, you've been here before, but leading these guys around here, you sort of know what you're doing and where you're taking them, or?
I've not got a clue now. Absolutely no idea whatsoever. No, but we've basically been directed around, really. We've come with an itinerary given to us, so I haven't really had to think, really.
So the Titans have, they've done a pretty special thing here, haven't they?
Absolutely amazing. I know last year that the Warrington team came over to play against the South Sydney Rabbitohs, and I've heard that not very good things about that trip, and for us to be given this opportunity where we can actually engage with the Titans, it's been fantastic for us.
And what did you make of the Melbourne game on the weekend?
Well, I'll pretty much echo what Callum said. It was a great first half, looked really promising, great to be a part of, and then the second half just kind of fell apart really.
You guys were guests of the Titans and you were taken into the chairman's lounge area, so did you spend much time out watching the game, or were you in on the Terps and the Tucker? Okay.
Pre-game, I'm sure I can speak for all of us. We had a couple of beers, but yeah, we weren't out on the chairs on the outside, and we'll watch a good game of footy.
Yeah. And back home, your full-time profession is doing what?
I'm a personal trainer back home, but also I've been given an opportunity through PDRL to get involved with Wakefield Trinity Community Trust. That's thank you to Craig Shepherd, who's the general manager there. And just before I came away, I was teaching and training kids with disabilities, learning disabilities, doing something called the Engage Project, which is basically kids with autism. Just giving them a way out kind of thing to exercise, for the mums and dads as well, to have a little bit of a respite.
How rewarding is something like that for you?
Oh, absolutely. I mean, rewarding in the sense of it gives the parents a little bit of respite, but just to see smiles on kids' faces, that means the world to me. I wouldn't have to get paid for stuff like that, but fortunately I do.
And that's where this weekend, when you run out onto Seabus Stadium, the smile, I'll be looking for the smile on your three faces because it's going to be unbelievable. What position do you normally play?
I'm a halfback.
He's a halfback. How are you going to go with Scotty Prince and Preston Campbell?
I'll play them.
You'll pass them. You
Yeah.
get out of the way.
Get out of the way,
I'm
exactly.
taking the ball.
Yeah, exactly. I'm just looking forward to the challenge, to be honest. Can't wait to get out there, yeah. Brilliant.
And family back home?
Yeah, it's my wife's birthday today. Yeah, I know.
Have you rung it?
Yes, I have a video call, yes. And I've got two boys as well, 4 and 3.
And
We're
your
looking,
names?
Tyler and Brody.
Yep.
We're looking to emigrate over here, hopefully soon. So yeah.
What better place to be?
Absolutely.
Gold Coast.
Gold Coast.
And a member of Nerang RSL.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, please put your hands together and thank Mr. Darren Evans. Well, ladies and gentlemen, I hope you've enjoyed tonight because to me personally, it's been probably one of the most exciting things where we can get guys who have been challenged and have overcome those challenges. And that's what we look for each and every day, is that little bit of inspiration to try and make us better people every day. And I hope from tonight you can get that little bit of inspiration. The guys are going to be here for a little while as yet, so don't be strangers. Please come up, shake their hands, say good day, buy him a drink, even if it's a soft drink for Connor, because he's only just 18, so we've got to look after him. And they've got a full day at, I think, Dreamworld. They're going to Dreamworld tomorrow on the giant drop and all the rides. And we don't want to send them there with too much of a hangover. But on the tipping front, I have noticed that there's been quite a few 8 out of 8 last weekend. So congratulations to those that got that. So I think there's going to be a fair few 6-packs handed out on Thursday night. I only managed 7, so I got one wrong. So I think I get a pizza or chicken wings or something like that. But let's make sure that this week, get your tips in. Thursday night, be here, enjoy the night. And it's been a pleasure, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the Men of League Foundation and Mr. Greg Sylvester, the publicity officer, the captain of the Gold Coast Titans PDRL team, Terry Litton, Mr. Dennis Ward, Ronnie Turner, and who else? Who have I missed? Kevin Griffin. And of course, none other than England international ex-fullback. He came down to fill in as an interpreter because he's been here 30 years. Mr. Paul Charlton, 730 games, first grade. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, thanks very much for tonight. We look forward to seeing you on Thursday night for our tipping night and pizza night and beers. So thank you.